Hello and welcome to another edition of Traveler Stories. Joining us again is Joseph Razumich, who goes by Journey Joe. Welcome back, Joseph.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. I was honored to be here.
Journey Joe recently took a 7-week Route 66 road trip, and before we start today on week number 3, we bring us up to date as to where we ended on week number 2.
Okay. At the end of week number 2, we were, if you want to call it stuck, we were stuck at the Rockwood Motor Court waiting for tires for my car because I blew up 2 tires hitting a pothole. But we were having a lot of fun. It was a great time. Oh, and there's one thing that I wanted to mention after last week's segment, if I could.
Sure.
Last week, I talked about the homeless fellow that I heated up my leftovers and I gave them to him. I just want to say I don't tell these stories to make myself look good or charitable or something like that. But I hope that when I do tell these stories, I can inspire somebody to do this.
Absolutely.
If you have this opportunity of your own to do it. Yeah, it's kind of scary. You're stepping outside of your bubble or your comfort zone to do something like that. But it's just the reward, the feeling that you've done somebody some good is really a nice thing. And I hope that me, telling you how I did it and I'm still here talking about it, that it's okay. You can do those kinds of things. All right. So
Yep.
I did that. All right, so here we are.
So we ended up at the Rockwood, and you had you gotten your credit card, your new one at this point? I think you had, hadn't you?
I got my credit card, and let's see, between last segment and this segment, let's just say my tires finally came in. The guy at Mitchum Tire did a really good job hunting tires for me, so I got my tires and got them put on. And my friend, I had a friend came to visit me for the weekend. I wanted to share the Springfield, Missouri Route 66 experience with a friend of mine, and we'll see her in the next picture, I think. But this picture here is with the plaid shirt. That's Phyllis Ferguson, who owns the Rockwood Motor Court. And in the middle there, standing up, that's Stephanie Daggett, she of the Texas Route 66 Association. And sitting down there on the right is Penny Black, the mayor of Springfield, Missouri, and just a wonderful person to travel with.
Oh, great. Okay.
Yeah, so this I believe is the night before the Springfield Route 66 Festival. Okay, so I went to the airport and I picked up my friend Mary, and first thing she wanted to do, she says, let's go to the drive-in and watch the Cars movie. And I said, oh, what do you mean? She goes, yeah, well, I want to watch the Cars movie. And we thought about it and we said, okay, I know what we'll do. I says, we'll find the Cars movie on the laptop, and we'll set up a couple of chairs here in the hotel room, and you can see the 2 little boxes of leftovers there. And so that was our drive-in. So that morning we watched the Cars movie. There we are.
I like that.
Yeah. That's just a picture of Angel, the Corvette, with her brand new tires, and she's sitting in front of Rockwood Motor Court number. I can't read the number, but that's one of the double room apartments, one of the deluxe ones. Okay, so now we have a few pictures of the Route 66 Festival, and all of the guests are arriving at the Rockwood Motor Court, and it's just happy chaos, and the buzz just floats in the air, and like this is the kind of stuff you don't get on the interstate.
Right.
When you go to stay at vintage places like this, and you just get to meet people, and it's just total friendship the whole time.
Yep, I like the idea of meeting new friends with similar interests. I mean, they're staying at the Rockwood because of Route 66. So you already got a common bond.
Yeah, yeah. And that suburban truck there, that is Tim Ferguson's rat rod, if you want to call it that. That's his car parked in front of the Rockwood Motor Court. And I took this picture not specifically to take a picture of the car, but because long shadows is one of the things that fascinates me. I like taking pictures of long shadows, stairways, and things with faces. So there's a
Okay.
picture of long shadows. There's probably a few more in here somewhere. And the next morning, here we are at a place called, okay, what did we just call that place, Tim? All right, let me look it up.
I can't remember.
We just looked it up.
Yeah, we did.
Civil Kitchen.
Mhm.
This is all of us having breakfast at Civil Kitchen. It's right on the Springfield, Missouri Square. It's like either right across the street or catty corner from the museum.
Okay.
Very nice place for breakfast.
And I believe that's Daggett's again on the left, correct?
That's correct. That's yeah, Stephanie, and then to the left of her is Gary,
Yeah.
and to the left of him is their daughter.
Okay. And they're president and vice president of let's see, is it the Texas
Yes.
Route 66 Association?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yep. And Stephanie works at the Midpoint Cafe.
That's where I met her for the first time. We were eating lunch there. Yeah. Okay. So what do we got here? A fire hydrant. That's a unique looking one.
That is a picture I took at Red Oak 2. How it got, I'm pretty sure that's Red Oak 2. I'm not positive, but it just, there's another one just like it at Red Oak 2 that Lowell Davis painted, and it looks really cute. And I saw that one, and it's got a nice patina on it, so I took a picture of it.
I've never seen one shaped like that before, so that's interesting.
Yeah. And here's a picture of me and my friend Mary at the Spencer town, the little town of Spencer. For those of you who traveled, Missouri Route 66, it's been there forever, and it was just just like this stone facing that was empty and abandoned. Well, somebody bought it. He's fixing it up slowly but surely, and I think next year it's going to be open. But anyway, we stopped there, took a quick little selfie, and here we are at the Gay Parita station. Another selfie. And this is a picture from Lotties. Lotties is in Avilla, Missouri. Lotties is a restaurant that was opened originally in the 1930s. And you can see the menu on the table there. That's a picture of Lottie. And her granddaughter runs it now. And they also have 2 or 3 motel rooms on the site. If you call them up, you can reserve a room there, and it's just a nice, quiet place. Avilla, Missouri is just one of those little tiny towns on Ghost Route 66, and the food there is great.
Now, I have never been to Lottie's, so this is something I'm going to have to go check out. So, nope, I feel bad that I've missed it. And it was funny, I'm only probably an hour and a half away from that location, so that's something I'm going to have to check out.
Well, I'll tell you why you missed it, Tim. The speed limit is 65 miles an hour. That's one of the things about this section of Route 66. You go through these tiny little, almost ghost towns, and the speed limit hardly ever drops down. So if you're unlucky enough to have a semi riding on your tail, you're going to miss Lottie's.
Okay.
You're just going to miss it. That's all. That's why people miss it. And of course, I can't resist taking a picture of nice cars. These cars are also parked. This is the parking lot at Lottie's, and you see that building with the red roof, next to the
Mhm.
red Dodge Challenger there. That's the little motel that they built.
Oh, nice. Okay. So it looks like we're back at Rockwood.
Yeah, so this is this is a picture at Rockwood I took um, just before I checked out for the morning. Now, what's significant about this picture is that you can see the parking lot's wet, the pavement's wet. Um, it rained. Oh my gosh, did it rain this day? And this was the day that my friend Mary was to head back to Chicago. I took her to the airport, Springfield, and I dropped her off. And she's going to fly to Chicago and go home. She lives near Chicago, just like I do. And just from this one picture, when I see this picture, all I can think of is how difficult Mary's trip was to get home. She went to the airport, okay. She checked her luggage. She got on the airplane. They took her off the airplane because a storm was coming through, and then she got on the airplane. Then the airplane went to the runway, and then the airplane came back from the runway because another storm was coming. And she
Mm.
got off the airplane again, and she waited a few more hours,
Mm.
and then she got back on the airplane, and she flew to Chicago, and the plane landed in Chicago, and the plane couldn't get to the gate because there was lightning, so there was nobody out there on the tarmac. So she
Mm.
sat in the plane some more, and the plane got to the gate, and she got off the plane, and she went to the baggage claim, and they lost her luggage. All of
Oh
that from
no.
this picture of a wet parking lot. you know,
Yep.
um, and of course, I was, she kept me informed with, text messages as she was going along. So even though I checked out of Rockwood Motor Court, I didn't go very far, very fast because, up until, you know, uh, like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she was still in Springfield. And I thought there was a chance that she might not leave. So we'll
Right.
have to stay another night. Um, and I sent a message to Phyllis, who owns the Rockwood Motor Court. And she says, no problem. I got a place for you. She said, if you need me to, I'll go pick Mary up at the airport and bring her back.
Wow.
Again,
Yeah.
you don't get that on the interstate.
No. Mm.
That is just the way it is when you travel on Route 66.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So it's a long story behind a wet parking lot, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's a good story.
Yeah. Okay. So this is another picture. I went back to the Gay Parita station, and I parked my car there till I saw some motorcycles coming, and I moved my car so all the motorcycles could park there. And these folks were from, I'm going to say either Germany or Sweden. I can't remember which. But,
Okay.
what's nice about this, if you're in the right place at the right time, you get to be an ambassador for your country because all these people are coming here from all over the world just to
Hmm.
experience Route 66. And
Yep.
you're there and you're part of it. They come to see Route 66 and they come to see you or me being an ambassador. And I just
Yep.
love that.
Can we go back to this photo? Do you have any information to share about this gas station
I do. Okay, that
at the Gay Parade?
originally, the well, after it was, went out of business and sat abandoned for, many years, just like so many other gas stations in on Route 66. A fellow named Gary Parita bought the place and he restored it and turned it into a curio shop, and he brought all kinds of cool things over there, like that little dinosaur, and there's all kinds of little displays and old cars and flower beds and memorabilia there. And you walk in, and anytime you go here, it's at least an hour because Gary would just talk. He just loved
Hmm.
having people come over. He'd give you a root beer or something, and you just sit there and shoot the breeze with him. And
Yeah.
well, Gary passed away. I'm gonna say like 2018 or 2019. So his daughter Barbara inherited the place. So Barbara and her husband George, um, who didn't really know anything about Route 66 when when he moved over there, but he is cut from the same mold as Gary. You can sit down, you can shoot the breeze with George for an hour. You get there,
Mm-hmm.
give you a soda pop, you sit down, and you just shoot the breeze, and it's just a very very nice, pleasant place to visit. So when you stop there, you know it's going to be an hour.
Yep. And we had a similar experience there. This is a few years ago, and we stopped, and Gary was around back, and he was cutting watermelon, and he said, "Here, take a slice," and he
Oh
was
yeah,
just hand,
yeah. There's
yeah,
always watermelon there, right?
yep, yep, and he was just handing out free watermelon, and
Hmm.
so yeah, it's one of my favorite stops. It really
Yeah,
is.
because usually when you go there, it's hot, so nothing
Hmm.
feels better than a watermelon and a cold pop on a hot day.
Yeah. All right. So we've saw the motorcycles. Where are we now?
This is on Route 66 at the entrance to Webb City. Um, Something about these concrete ruins just fascinates me because the first time I saw them, I didn't know what they were. I've since found out that what they used to be were trestle supports for a trolley, an overhead railroad trolley that would bring the miners in and take them home day after day because they worked in the lead mines nearby. So all that's left of that trolley are the concrete supports,
Yep.
and it's one of those things. Every time I go by there, I take a picture. The weeds are a little
Christopher.
taller.
Yep. Christopher Briley at Supertam in Carterville taught me a lot about the mining in the area and, back in the late 1800s and into the early 1900s. So this is probably part of that trolley system that he was referring to. All right, let's move on. Where are we now?
Okay, this is Gearhead Curios in Galena, Kansas. This is Aaron Perry's place. Aaron is one of the most imaginative artists you'll ever meet on Route 66. His place is just wonderful. He bought an old Texaco station on a corner in Galena, Kansas. And yeah, there's a picture of it there. Was it last year or the year before last? He restored the neon sign. I didn't get a picture of the sign on the corner. Um, but he restored the neon sign, and we had a neon sign lighting ceremony there. And so he's got this place here, and it's just a wonderful place to stop. You can see in the background there's a Hudson parked there, and behind the Hudson is a wall. And the reason I want to mention that wall is because when you're traveling down Route 66, you would be on the right side of the picture coming from that wall, towards us.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't see Gearhead Curios until you get past that wall. And if you're in traffic, you'll miss it. So
Mm-hmm.
I just want to, remind anyone who's listening that Gearhead Curios is in Galena, Kansas. Look for the Texaco sign. Um, and if when you see that Texaco sign, be sure to stop there because what can I say about Gearhead Curios besides Aaron Perry is such a great guy. You'll never have so much fun going to the bathroom as you will here. That's all I
I,
can say. You got to
yeah.
see for yourself.
The Hudson reminds me of the Hudson Hornet in the movie Cars. You were mentioning the movie Cars that you were watching earlier. So it reminds me of that. I want to go back a couple of photos. I realized after we changed, the American flag there is made out of license plates.
Yes,
I
yes.
didn't
Isn't that
catch that the
something?
first time. Yeah, yeah, that's really cool. So you made it out of Missouri and you're in Kansas. So there you go.
Right.
Yeah,
Just kind of meandering along. There's another
yeah.
picture with Aaron and me.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you zoom in a little bit on this picture, that little thing on the dashboard, Barbara gave that to me at the Gay Parita station. It's a little rubber ducky, and that's just one of the things that that she started. She gives them to travelers as they pass through, and she hands it to you and says, "Congratulations, you've just been ducked." Okay, so
Yeah.
I put that little ducky on my dashboard there. I'm actually parked on the Rainbow Bridge.
Oh,
In,
okay.
where is that? Baxter Springs, Kansas, I believe.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm parked there, and yeah, Mr. Ducky, he was my co-pilot for the rest of my trip.
I like that. And I've got a little bit of a similar story. I'm going to just throw in really quick. Years ago, when we were traveling Route 66, we ended up traveling with a couple from Australia. I can't remember. Yeah, Steve. His name was Steve, and her name was Camaro, and started with a K, Camaro. And she gave my wife a little stuffed koala bear. And these little things, little mementos, are so special. My wife still has that on her dresser in our bedroom. So,
Oh,
you meet these friends along the route, and you even travel together, and then everybody goes home, but you stay in contact. So that's pretty cool.
yeah, yeah. You make friends forever on a Route
Yeah,
66 trip.
yeah. So
Yeah.
where are we now? Tell us about this photo.
Okay, this is we're in Oklahoma now. There are sections of pretty much abandoned or under unused sections of Route 66 where the road used to be a 4-lane divided highway, but now 2 lanes are in use and the other 2 lanes are just overgrown. Um, but I put this picture in there just to illustrate one thing. You notice that the lights are on in the car, and this is a trick I learned from one of our expert photographers. His name is Efren Lopez. He
Hmm.
says he taught me that if you take a picture of a car with the lights on, the car has life,
Hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
you could just kind of feel it talking to you. Okay, wait a minute,
Yeah.
I got some pop up on my computer. Okay, we're back. We're good. We're back. All right. So this is another picture in Oklahoma. It's another one of those sections where it used to be a divided highway, and most of the people are on the used section. And if you go slow and there's nobody coming the other way, you could kind of meander along on the unused section, which is what I
Hmm.
was doing here.
I like that.
This is, oh, geez, I don't know. I don't remember where it's at. I
Maybe
don't.
another photo might help.
Okay, well, all right. So here, I think if you zoom in next to the 99, there's a pillow that says Stroud, right? Yeah,
Yes.
Stroud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this is a little coffee shop I stopped at in Stroud, Oklahoma. Of course, it was hot. It was probably 99 degrees outside. I
Mm-hmm.
was having issues with the car, running hot. So there were times when I had to, get out of the car and let the car cool off and let myself cool off. And this is
Mm-hmm.
one of those times I came in here and sat down for a while. I don't know exactly where this is at. I'm pretty sure it's right on Route 66. It's called the 99 in Stroud, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, this is also in Stroud, Oklahoma, or Bristow, or one of those towns.
Yeah, I think it might be Bristow.
Okay,
Maybe. I'm
because I
not
know
sure.
I know I got to Stroud at night because I was
Hmm.
driving really slow all day, waiting for
Mm-hmm.
Mary to get home to Chicago. And then by
Yeah.
the time I got back on the road, started moving a little faster, it was nighttime. So of course I didn't take any pictures at nighttime. So these
Mm-hmm.
must have been the next morning. So I was in
I
Stroud.
see.
I went to Bristow. Um, I went to Pops. You got to go to
Yep.
Pops.
Yep. Tell the people about Pops.
Um, it's a gas station. It's the coolest gas station you'll ever see. Um, Out in front of it, there's a 66-foot tall statue of a pop bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And inside is a huge gift shop, and they featured approximately 1,000 different varieties of soda pop, in
It's
addition
amazing.
to a regular gift shop, in addition to a restaurant, in addition
Mm-hmm.
to gasoline for your car. So really interesting
Yep.
place. You can see that pop bottle from the interstate even.
And it's neon. It'll light up at night.
Yes, yes. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's Arcadia, Oklahoma.
Okay, I know it's really close to Oklahoma City, just north, or sort
Correct.
of. It's near the round barn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Cool. So I do not recognize this photo. Where are we here?
Um, doesn't it say Rock Cafe above the window in the
It
backyard?
does. Yeah, it does. And you know what? We've stopped there, and we've always timed it wrong, and we've never been inside. So no.
You know what's funny? The first time I drove down Route 66, I didn't really know what I was doing. I stopped at this place and I had a really good time. And then many times after that, I looked for this place in Oklahoma and I could never find it. And the reason I couldn't find it was because the Rock Cafe burned down.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's
Mm-hmm.
been rebuilt and here it is again.
Interesting. Yep.
So
Hmm.
this is the Rock Cafe, and the lady that, I don't know whether she still owns it, but at the time when the Cars movie was made, the lady that owned it, she was part of the inspiration for the character Sally Porsche.
I didn't
Now,
know that. Hmm.
that's what I read or heard someplace. And of course, here's
Hmm.
another picture of Long Shadows. This is the Rock
Hmm.
Cafe again.
Yeah. Very famous sign.
Yes. Okay, this place, this is the one with the buffalo on the window. I Right now I can't think of where it's at. It's another coffee shop I stopped at, on some hot day,
Mm-hmm.
when I had to get out of the car. Um, it looks nice and cool in there, doesn't it?
Yeah. Now I
Okay,
bet
so
I can. Can I guess at this one?
go ahead.
I- Is this Lucille's?
How'd you know?
I could just tell by the concrete support on the right side of the pumps.
Interesting. Yes, you're exactly right. This is Lucille's.
And it
Um,
happens to be my wife's middle name. So,
okay, that's a good reason to remember it.
yeah.
Now, in the background there, you can see it's new concrete. The building looks pretty new. They're building some motel rooms there,
Hmm.
and I was told that that motel back there was damaged when a tornado came through, so it's pushed back the opening of the motel rooms here probably another year or two. But yeah, those are
I
motel rooms back there.
I cannot tell the story as good as other people. Maybe you know the story better than I, but I was told that Lucille was like the mother of Route 66, and she would really go out of her way to help Route 66 travelers, back during the migration days. Do you know about that?
I've heard that too. I never met Lucille. I believe she ran this station until the 1990s, and my first real trip down Route 66, where I was purposely driving down this road, was in the mid or late 1990s. So I never met her.
No.
But yes, I heard that she ran this station for like 70 years, which would cover the Dust Bowl days.
Right.
I wouldn't,
What
don't doubt that one bit.
what I had heard is um, she even had kind of like well, I don't know what you'd call it, but like a clothing exchange. So
Oh,
if some, yeah, so and
I didn't know
just
that.
free of charge. This is what I heard. And if people didn't have money for fuel, she would give them fuel anyway, and said, just pay me when you can, or maybe do like an exchange of something. So from what I heard, she was a real, like I say again, a real humanitarian to help people travel.
Hmm.
Yeah, interesting. So where are we now?
Okay, this is This is Erick, Oklahoma. This is Harley's place.
I've never been there. No.
Sandhill Curiosity. Yeah, I can read it backwards. Okay, so there he is. There's Harley.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I got lucky. I got there. The place was open. Harley was in there by himself. He was taking a little snooze actually, and I walked in and and we
Mm-hmm.
sat down and we started talking. We had ourselves a nice little bawdy conversation for a while, and then another fella came in and a fellow who was a musician. Now, Harley is quite an accomplished musician, so they got
Mm-hmm.
to talking about music and rock and roll and guitars and drums and that, and I just kind of got up and walked around and headed off on my way. But it was nice to get in there, to be able to get in there. The place was open and see Harley. It was good to see him.
Yep. Yep. I've seen his post, but I've never been in the building.
Yep. Speaking of places being closed, this is it's the sign on there says Waterhole Number 2, and there's another name for this place. I can't remember it, but for many of my Route 66 trips, I always stopped here. And I remember this place because the lady made this killer chicken soup. Now I just like chicken soup. But it's closed now, so that was kind of
Okay.
sad. That made me kind of sad. I don't know why it's closed, but it is now closed. So,
Okay.
but it's another one of those places I always stop there, so I always take another picture. Okay, so from here, I'm pretty sure the next place I stopped was Shamrock. Yep, there it is. There's the U Drop In.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I stopped there,
I think
and
that's a visitor center as well, correct?
yes, it's a visitor center.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a restaurant, and you don't see any cars there, but there were a lot of people inside when I went in there, and there was only one person working, and she was quite overwhelmed with all of the tourists that were there, and so I didn't stick around that long because I was hungry. I had to find
Mm-hmm.
some place to eat. So
Yep.
there's another picture of the U Drop In. And let's see, where did I go after that? Okay, oh, this is the little restaurant at the U Drop In,
Hmm.
and
You know what's funny? Back in September, we were looking for a restaurant to eat, and I didn't realize that there was a restaurant inside there. Isn't that funny? So,
yeah,
that's
now
good.
it may not necessarily. I sometimes I think I don't know if I've ever eaten there,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the restaurant is actually more for show than it is for serving
I
food.
see.
Although you could
Okay.
probably you know buy a donut there or a bottle of
Mm-hmm.
water or something, but
Okay.
I don't know whether they really cook any food there or
Okay.
not. And I think the
Now
next picture, that's
I
the booth in
recognize
the corner.
yeah. I recognize this one because that's where we did eat. It's just a few miles out of town.
All right, this is, I got to put my glasses on. That's the,
The Red River
yeah, oh,
Steakhouse.
yeah, oh, the Red River Steakhouse. This is in McLean, Texas, right next door to the Cactus Inn Motel. And this was the best food I had on the entire trip. This
Wow.
place is to die for. You want to stop here. McLean, Texas. The
Good.
food was so good. And it's in walking distance from this place here, Cactus Inn Motel. This is one of the nicest old vintage, restored, reconditioned motor courts you'll ever see on Route 66. Um, Angela Moreland is the lady who owns the place. Tell her Journey Joe sent you.
And again, this is in McLean.
Yes, McLean, Texas.
Okay.
It's a very small town. This was one of my days where I did some walking. So
Mm-hmm.
I parked the car and I went for a walk through town. So first thing I took a picture of is this um, nice little bit of yard art here.
Looks like an old international pickup.
I
Yeah.
believe you're correct. Either that or a Studebaker.
Okay.
Uh, Couple of I think I took a few pictures of abandoned buildings or
Hmm.
houses.
Yeah.
Now, this is downtown McLean, Texas, with a nice little mural on the wall of the building on the corner, and they have there's a museum there and a restaurant. And I
Hmm.
believe I took pictures in both places. Okay,
Okay.
this is also in McLean, is a restored little gas station.
So I'm going out on the edge here. Daggett's are involved in restoring a gas station. Could it possibly be this one?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's a good
Uh,
question.
is this somewhat, are we getting kind of close, like within an hour or so from the Midpoint Cafe?
Probably,
I
without
think
looking at a map, I couldn't tell you for sure, but I think probably, yeah.
the Texas Route 66 Association is involved in restoring a gas station, and it seems like they said McLean, but I'm not real sure. So I'll check my notes. That's a cool photo. I like that. I like it. Yeah.
And then, okay, so here again, this is downtown McLean with, I believe this is a restaurant that the lady who owns the Cactus Inn also owns this restaurant. It wasn't
Hmm.
open at that time when I was there, so I
Okay.
didn't go in, but I took a picture of it. Nice little outdoor courtyard there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here's the museum. Very nice museum. I went in there. I think I might have took a few pictures in there. Okay, what's this? This is a menu. Can you blow that up a little bit? Can you enlarge
No,
that?
no, unfortunately, I cannot. But I see that it's Wine Not Ranch Cafe.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. So all it's oh, you know what? This was a it had something did it have something to do with uh a cafe that was set up after some kind of a disaster, and instead of complaining about this or that, they go to the cafe called Why Not, and
Oh,
all of the menu items on there would make you laugh. Okay, so this is the restaurant, another restaurant in downtown McLean, Texas. I
okay.
think the next picture might be the outside of it, so we'll be able to see there's another picture inside. There it is. Cafe, what does that say? Cafe 101?
Yeah, but and also on the on to the right of it, it says "Why Not Ranch Cafe" on the white. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, there's a banner there. Yeah. Hmm. I like that. Yeah. Oh, and I wonder if that could have been a radio station or something at one time. I'm looking at the WKR on the awning. I wonder what that means.
Interesting. I didn't notice that.
Oh, it's the acronym for the Why Not
Oh,
Ranch.
oh,
WKR. Why?
yeah, there we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
All right, we
Hmm.
figured that out, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. That's interesting. I like that.
This is it's an
Oh, I'll
old
go back.
restaurant picture here,
Okay. Yeah.
and the next picture is an old hot rod shop
I like that. Yeah.
out of business. But those are the kind of things you can stand there and you can look at that, and you can and it just starts to tell you stories. All the guys
Mm-hmm.
hanging out there, working on cars, smoking cigarettes, doing burnouts. Whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Drinking beers.
Yeah.
Now this picture here, this is in the Cars movie. If you remember that
Hmm.
Luigi's tires,
Yeah.
they took this picture and they put it in the movie. It's in
Really?
there.
Hmm.
Yes, yes,
Hmm. Now I'm going to have to watch for that.
right,
Yeah.
right. And Angela at the Cactus Inn mentioned that to me, and otherwise I probably would have missed it too. But
Hmm.
she
Hmm.
told me that, yeah, that tire out there, that's they use that for the Cars movie.
Oh, that's neat.
And this may be another scene that was taken to the Cars movie. It's a main street with a single yellow flashing light in the distance.
Yep. I remember
So
that in the movie. Sure.
yes,
Yeah.
a very very, very much, and a hollowed out, abandoned town. But and I don't say that detrimentally. The
Right.
place has self respect. You can just
Mm-hmm.
feel it.
Yeah.
It's just the highway moved and they lost a lot of business, but it's
Yeah.
still there.
Hmm.
Okay, there's another pic. This is an old abandoned gas station. Uh,
Are we
two
still in
different.
McLean then?
Yes, this is all McLean, Texas.
Okay.
Um, this is probably a museum picture. Well, it's definitely a mural. Okay, now
Hmm.
another one. This is another one here. Too bad we can't we can't we can't enlarge this, but this is another one of my things with faces. You see the smile there?
I'm missing. Oh, yeah, up on top. Yeah,
Yeah,
of the drain. Yeah, I do.
yeah. It's a smile,
Yeah.
and it's this bright blue smile because what
Mm-hmm.
you're doing is you're looking through the drain up at the blue sky behind it.
Oh, isn't that cool? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That looks like that could have been a Sunoco sign, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it could be. I agree. It could
Yeah.
be.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
And this is one of the last pictures I took at the Cactus Inn. And I had been there, all day. And then I don't know, I was standing, under the awning
Mm-hmm.
right outside my motel room door. And it just got my attention. And I looked up and I said, wow, they get, that's what happens when you get a good hailstorm out there.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
that,
Hmm.
just imagine what it would be like if you were, out
Yep.
there that day.
Yep. So we know where that is.
Yeah, that's the Midpoint Cafe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So,
And I love eating there, and they've got fabulous pie.
right. Now on my westbound trip, which is when this picture was taken, by the shadows, it looks like it was an early morning picture. So I had
Mm-hmm.
just left the um, the Cactus Inn, and the place wasn't open yet, and
Mm-hmm.
I was beginning the next week of my travel
Right.
on
Okay.
to New Mexico.
And could that possibly be Tucumcari? Is that the
It
kick sign on the right?
it could be. I don't remember. I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
see the road runner across the street. Yep. So that'd be Tucumcari.
All
Yep.
right.
Yeah.
Although I
And
didn't.
Donna Halfhill with Kicks. Whenever we go through Tucumcari around breakfast time, we always eat it at Kicks. Yeah. And if we're going through in the evening, we always eat next door at Dell's.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, I didn't eat at any one of these places, but I believe the next picture.
There's Kicks.
Oh, I
Yeah.
did eat at Kicks. Okay. If I took a
Yeah.
picture of the menu, I ate there.
Yeah. If I remember right, Kicks is like a 1950s Denny's type restaurant that is now Kicks on 66. Yeah. Hmm. Cool. Yeah, and there's the inside. I'll tell you what's kind of funny. When my wife and I travel, we'll take a picture and send it to our friends and say, ask them, where are we now? And they have to guess. And right on the wall, it said Kicks. So it wasn't much of a challenge. Yeah.
Okay, that's I think I just took a picture of an old neon sign there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I stopped at the food truck. I was
Okay.
hungry and it was the middle of the day, judging by the signs, and I wanted to get out of the car and give the car a
Mm-hmm.
rest. And there was a food truck there. So I stopped there and I had lunch.
There you
What
go.
town that was in, I'm not sure. But I do remember that on this day, I had left McLean, Texas, and my destination was Gallup, New Mexico.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
had, as you know, since I had,
And there you are. You're in
yeah, there
Gallup
I
now.
am, El
Yeah.
Rancho Hotel. I stayed there
Mhm.
for a couple of nights.
We stayed there for the very first time in September, and what a beautiful place.
Oh, it is. It is. It's spectacular.
Yeah.
Very
Home
nice.
of
There's the lobby with the
Mhm.
staircase, and just a very nice, inviting place.
It's the hotel of the movie stars.
That's right. That's right. And let's see. Let me put my glasses on. Is that a breakfast or is that a dinner? Looks like a
Mm,
breakfast of avocado toast and fruit and granola
okay.
and yogurt. Okay. So that must have been the next morning. So there's a picture of the gift shop at the
El
El
Rancho.
Rancho.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, after I had breakfast, I decided to go for a walk. Now, I'm close my eyes because I'm trying to picture in my head. Um, you can walk down Route 66. You walk from El Rancho. It's a very, very busy street. It's a 6-lane busy highway with lots of traffic and skinny sidewalks, and you got to pay attention. Um, you pass the Amtrak station on the other side of the street, and I remember thinking to myself, there's got to be more to Gallup Route 66 than this. And for some reason, I just got this inspiration to turn left. So I walked left for 1 block and I wound up on the corner of Cole Street. And that's where I took this picture. And this is the tourist section or the commerce section of old, I guess you could call it historic old Gallup.
Hmm.
So I took a couple of pictures here, and I think I was looking for a place to eat again. Yep, sure enough, there we are. Another place to eat.
I'm trying to remember the name of that restaurant because we ate breakfast at this restaurant, but I can't remember the name. But the owner was very nice. I wish I could remember it, but I don't remember. Oh, what's interesting, the owner of this restaurant told us that many years ago it was an auto parts store. So yeah,
Really?
yeah, but I can't remember the name of it. That's too bad. Yeah.
Well, there's a couple of more stories that I can tell you about Gallup that maybe we can open up the next segment with. One of them is this place here, the health food store, and then the other place is an encounter I had back at the El Rancho.
Okay.
But I'm sure
Okay.
I've bored you enough for one day, and
Well,
and
I think
hope
it's
we.
great. Yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
All right. So I'm going to close up the photos and we're going to go right over here. And with that, Joe, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your Route 66 road trip with us today.
I'm honored. I'm honored, and I look forward to continuing it in our next segment. And I'll tell you some more. There's plenty more to tell.
Very good. So, with that, join us next time as we continue driving west on Route 66. I'd like to say thank you to our guests today, and also I want to say thank you for watching my videos. Producing these videos is just my way of giving back to Route 66 and preserving this piece of Americana for the next generation. Now you can let me know that you appreciate these videos by just simply clicking onto this logo to subscribe to my channel, and of course feel free to share these videos to your social media pages.